Hey guys, Luke here, and before I start the video, could you just give this a like and subscribe to my channel and all that? But we're going to get straight on to the video. Now this is going to be previewing, I'm just going to do it 2 in 1, so we're going to preview both semi-finals of the Rugby League World Cup. And the first game, this is for England time, and it's on Saturday, November 23rd at 1 PM. So I'm guessing it's, obviously the early hours of Australia on the 24th. So I'm not sure what 1 o'clock is, but some early, pretty much. And then we got the second game is Australia versus Fiji, which is just 2.5 hours later. So pretty much, it's a double header. They're both at Wembley Stadium, and in this gameplay, there's no Wembley Stadium on the game, and no World Cup editions out. Not that I would get it, but yeah, Wembley's not in it, so I think I picked ANZ Stadium because it resembles it the most. But it's called the Big Hit Wembley Stadium, and it's in London. So yeah, we're going to go straight into the game with New Zealand and England. So I'm not sure, but there should be a good crowd for this one. But New Zealand, England, obviously all these teams won their last game to get in there. It's a knockout stage they had to win. But how did they get into it? So New Zealand, they had a very comfortable 40-4 victory over Scotland. While England, they had a 34-6 win against France. Now have a look at try scorers and all that for New Zealand. So I'll go through just their try scorers. So Tuivasa-Sheck scored 2. Bryson Goodman scored 2, Manavadavai scored 1, Shaun Johnson scored 1, Jesse Bromwich scored 1, and Frank Pritchard scored 1, and Shaun Johnson kicked 4 goals. So we go and have a look at the England game against France. Surprisingly, France took the lead early on, but wasn't to be. Sam Tomkins got man of the match. Also, I'll just check who was man of the match in the New Zealand game very quickly. Man of the match was nobody, it doesn't say, but by looks of things it was probably like Shaun Johnson or someone. I'd say he would have had a pretty good game. Can't really remember. I think this is a game where they just blew him out of the park at the start. Yeah, England 34-6. Josh Charnley scored 2, Ryan Hall scored 2 as well. We had Sean O'Loughlin score 1, and Brett Ferries, I think it was Brett Ferries, B Ferries anyways. And then Kevin Sinfield kicked 5 goals. Yeah, obviously, like I said, Sam Tomkins was the man of the match. They also said key performances like James Graham, big meters, Chris Hill, big meters. So I think James Graham's going to be big for these guys. But you look at the caliber of the sides. I think Scotland have a better side than France, and New Zealand thumped Scotland more convincingly than England beat France. So that's just a little way of comparing them. But yeah, personally, I think this is going to be a New Zealand win. I don't think it'll be a big win, but I think it'll be a win. But I would not be surprised due to, I'd say there'd be a big crowd. It's a double header. There'll be a lot of England fans there. Obviously, it's in England and UK and all that, but this game's in London, so it's in England. Yeah, I think they're going to have the home crowd support, even if it's not as much as what it normally be, because it will be Aussies and Fijians and New Zealanders there. But yeah, that's just my prediction on that game. But actually, I haven't even gone over the teams. But for England, I just got to find it. For England, they have Carl Ablett, George Burgess, Sam Burgess, Rob Burrow, Josh Charnley, Leroy Cudjoe, Liam Farrell, Brett Ferries, James Graham, Ryan Hall, Chris Hill, Lee Mossop, Sean O'Loughlin, James Roby, Kevin Sinfield, Sam Tompkins, Callum Watkins, Ben Westwood, and Gareth Woodett. Maringi Chase being dropped. Sorry if you heard the motorbike in the back. Not my fault. And then we go and look at New Zealand side. They have Kevin Locke. Still no Josh Hoffman. I'd say he probably sit out the rest of the tournament. Too late to change people now. So we got Locke, Tuivasa-Sheck, Vara, Goodwin, Nightingale, Foran, Johnson, Maria Hargraves, Luke, Bromwich, Pritchard, Sonny Bill, Simon Mannering, and then we've got bench is Nuasala, Casiano, Madalino, Taylor, Moa and Glenn. 2 to drop off, likely to be Sam Moa and Alex Glenn. But like I said before, I'm going to switch straight over to Australia and Fiji, and I'll just go through the lineups first so I don't forget about it. So they named the 19-man squad, not in order. We've got Penny Batiki, Jason Bakuya, Precho Sivanasiva, who's their captain, Kane Evans, Aaron Groom, Marika Korobidi, Apise Coruscant, Darren Millard, Ryan Millard, Kevin Nguama, Wes Nguama, Junior Rokika, Ashton Sims, Tariq Sims, James Dora, Aquila Uate, Helene Vinakasi, Sitawanga, and Sami Radradra. I say it wrong every time. And then Australia, they named theirs a long time ago. So haven't named the actual lineup, but the 90-man squad is Cameron Smith and Paul Gallen, captain and vice captain. We've got Greg Bird, Darius Boyd, Daly Cherry Evans, Cooper Cronk, Robbie Farah, Andrew Fafita, Jared Hayne, Greg Inglis, Brett Morris, Nate Miles, Josh Papali, Corey Parker, Matt Scott, James Tamu, Brent Tate, Sam Thaiday, and Jonathan Thurston. Now obviously Slater got hurt. He will be a big loss. Probably bigger than what people would expect. Brent Tate's come in. I know a lot of people are sort of thinking either Jennings or Morris would get in. I would have thought that too, but obviously not. And Tim Sheens has said that he always had the intention of playing Jared Hayne in the centres, so that's interesting. But he did play pretty well against USA. And speaking of USA, we'll have a look how both these sides got in to the semi-finals by taking a look at their quarter-final match. So Australia just destroyed USA 62-0. The only real bad thing was Billy Slater's injury, but 2 players got 4 tries, and when that happened, you know, they went pretty well. So they were Brett Morris and Jared Hayne, and Brett Morris also got man of the match. Greg Inglis got 2 tries as well. Cronk got a try. Cameron Smith got a try, and then Jonathan Thurston, he kicked 7 goals. 7 out of 12. So his kicking's a little bit off, but what can you do? And by their website, they reckon the key performers of that were Brett Morris, Jared Hayne, and Matthew Scott. But in my opinion, you couldn't really pick a star player. They all played very well, and but yeah, that's just my opinion. We take a look at Fiji. They had a pretty convincing win as well over Samoa, although not the 62-0 sort of scoreline, but a 22-4. I think one came right on the siren, so if you want, like, I wouldn't look too far into it, but I think they pretty much had it wrapped up. So I think Fiji, they obviously outplayed Samoa, but they've already played Australia once in the group stages, and I really can't see anything changing. Australia have only lost Billy Slater, but it's not as if Fiji were missing players or anything like that. I mean, it'd be pretty cool for them to make it into the final, but you put your money on Australia. I think it's a pretty safe bet. But who knows? It is the World Cup. All the people bashing the World Cup. You know, you've seen the soccer stuff, upsets happen, all that. But I guess a little bit different in soccer. You can just stack the back. Rugby league, you can get through anyway. But for like Fiji, Kevin Nguama has been pretty, like, the backline has been pretty well. Aaron Grooms played very well. He also got man of the match against Samoa. He's really stepped up. And then you got Sivanasiva, potentially his last game. So they could be running on emotion in this game, and that could cross them over the line, get them into the final. But yeah, like I said, I can't see anybody. Well, I can't see Fiji beating Australia. So my predictions: an Australia versus New Zealand grand final. But would not be surprised if England or Fiji got in. Obviously, it's a 50-50 chance, but I think the odds, like the favourites for these games, are obviously Australia and New Zealand. And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I've been rambling on for about 10 minutes. Yeah, like I said earlier, like and subscribe to my channel, and come back for the grand final preview. I'll see you then. Bye.